the other day, I was sent a zine that made me just want to pick it up purely because of the front cover. So I was just reading through, and then I was like, I want to read this again. And then you sort of start playing through, and you're like, do you know what? This is really good. And I know I say that a lot about a lot of things that I talk about on this channel, and that's because I'm on the video, because I have a hard time talking about something that I don't like or just doesn't resonate me. But I've had some really good adventures that I've run in jungles, and I've played in jungles, and this is a new jungle setting. It's got 3 specific adventures in there. It's got a hexcrawl, it's got a lot of monsters, some magical items. It all links really well. It appears to be from sort of 2nd level plus, and obviously it's for Shadowdark, because probably that's one of the reasons it's been sent to me. So before I actually get into the zine itself, I'll take you through to TTRPG, give you sort of the feeler for what it is, show you where you can pick it up. So here we have a final torch, which is a Shadowdark RPG Zine issue 1. Good thing is, at the back, it hints that volume 2 is coming. So hopefully they'll send me volume 2, because this is absolutely amazing. It's been written by Ross Mayer, and it's an 80-page zine. And as far as I can work out, this is the only writing credit that I can find anyway. I don't do a huge amount of research because I kind of don't want to know, because I want to do my review based on what I'm reading. But here we got the jungles of Qaratha. I think I'm probably ruining that as well. But it's like 80 pages. It's currently PDF only. I don't know whether print on demand's coming. I'd imagine it probably will do, because a lot of these do tend to go into print on demand, but they do take a fair amount of time. Just because obviously you need to proof test the read, and TTRPG need to send you the copy, etc. But say for the meantime, if you want to pick this up, it is PDF only. So we have got a hexcrawl map with over 30 really interesting areas, over 50 monsters. To say there's loads of magic items and 3 adventures in here. When you pick this up, I'm going with when, because you're going to want to, if you're a fan of Shadowdark, like jungles. So you've got this hexcrawl area and sort of 3 starting adventures. Please do consider using my affiliate link. Okay, I said I didn't actually pay for this. This was sent to me directly by Ross. He was like, have a look, see what you think. I read it. Cameras on. I said I always read books about 3 times going through it. I'm not going to spoil the adventures, but we will sort of see it as we go through. But let me just take you over to the book itself. Let's just get off Drive-Through RPG. But I say, if you are going to use it, please consider using my affiliate link, because when I do buy stuff, it just, I do whatever money I make on there, I put back into the channel. But say, front cover. Wow, I really like this. Yeah, yes, I do like, the black and white Shadowdark, sort of the image and artistry that we're getting. I'm not sure that's a real word either in the right context, but you're watching this channel, you're fully aware that my grasp on written and English isn't always the best. Love this. I love the fact it's volume 1, so they do hint at volume 2, and if volume 2 is like this, the theme for volume 2 is right up there for me. We'll get to that. But getting to the book, it is hyperlinked, which I think he actually wrote in the description, because I get these when I'm sent books. They go, good news, it's hyperlinked. So I don't know whether it's a standard thing that people do, but take you through the contents, the introduction. I've then got a hex map as well with a key for the map and some of the key locations in there. We've then got 3 adventures. So we've got the Sanctum of the Undertoad Queen, the Secrets of the Overgrown Pyramid, and the mapping of the Adelbog Crypt. All 3 adventures are pretty unique. The maps are beautiful. There is, so I've got 2 little wrinkles with this, but that's it. That is absolutely it. So it talks about here, gives you the sort of teasers of what it is. I wasn't sure how this is going to be linked, but I think these books will be available singly, because the way they're written, I think you could buy them singly, but you're going to want to go, well, I think you should just grab all this. The players will start in Serenity Cave, that is your sort of safe haven location. It's on the Hexcrawl map. I'm just going to flick to the Hexcrawl map and then flick back. So we are here. This is Serenity Cave, which is where the players are going to sort of start in there. How they got there, I don't know. Parachuting into the canopy of the jungle. Let's go with that. But that's where they start. And we'll just go back. And in Serenity Cave, you've got sort of, it's safe. There is the main man is Bonru, I think that's how I pronounce Savoy, who he's the curator, and he's the man that is going to set the missions, the quests, the rumors, okay? And obviously in here you can buy and sell all the items that you're going to need. So that, potentially do carousing or whatever it may be in there. But say Hexcrawl map, it's really well laid out. Let's say I'm going to do my big, it's not even a big negative. The thing that you're going to need, I think, to change. Okay, so the Hexcrawl map, so I think it's 32 locations. It says over 30, and they're all listed in this key hex over here. I'm pointing with my finger as opposed to the mouse, so I apologize for that. But there is a level 1 adventure, level 2, level 3, and a level 4, okay, in here. So you're starting here, and I'm going to guess you probably could get away with level 1, maybe level 2, okay. So we've got the level 3 adventure is here, the Undertoad Queen. The level 4 adventure is the Overgrown Pyramid, okay. And the level 2 adventure, the reason I say that is because I think they've probably put them in the book in the wrong order, because it does go 3, 4, then 2. But the level 2 adventure is all the way down. Keep coming down here. Now that, to me, is a problem. And a big problem. Because you're starting here, and you've got a journey all the way down to get to the 2nd level adventure. Personally, I think you'll just probably make sense to don't switch the queen, or because that needs to be up there, but you might want to just move this somewhere nearer to sort of ease the players in, okay. That is the only thing I would change, and the layout of the book, I say, because it goes level 3, 4, then 2 for the adventures. But other than that, it's absolutely brilliant. Because I just don't know how you're going to get down here. But the map, say you've got this river going all the way through the middle. You've got dense jungle, which you're going to start in. Then you've got some less dense jungle, which just counts as jungle. And then we've got some marsh maps. But each of the locations, and what I love about the way this is done is it's done in a way that doesn't exactly tell you specific things. It's adventure hooks, campaign ideas. So I'm going to pick on the ladder tree here. So it's a colossal tree that is 20 foot wide at its base. Planks of weathered wood nailed into the trunk form a makeshift ladder that ascends towards the shadowy canopy high above. How long has the ladder been there? Remains a mystery. So from a games master, if they go there, obviously you're going to sort of want to plot out a few things that go on in it, but it's just really wonderful that you're going to have to create stuff in here. There's a lot going on. You've got 2 sort of sects of people in here, and 2 different sort of tribes that all hate each other. You've got the Jaguar people and the it's the snake people, the sort of Viperins, that's the one that don't get on. And we've got a variety of different statues in here. So we've got the Overgrown Pyramid. Other locations will have things like, the high reaches above the dense canopy, pterodactyls and rocks glide. Or I should say, so obviously you're going to need a copy of the Shadowdark core rulebook, but most of the creatures in here are included in the back of the book. Oh, do you want to find the one? Where's the really cool one? There's this sunken pirate ship. Where's the pirate ship? There's a problem. I read it on a PDF, and then when I come to do it on here, the layout is slightly different. I can't find it. But anyway, the pirate ship, there's like a pirate ship in the jungle, and you end up getting cursed potentially if you go and take things from there. And then you get chased by the cursed pirate people. But we've got a D100 jungle encounters, which is a huge amount. And there's the ones like this. I love stuff like this, and I do this regularly in my adventures and campaigns. So we've got whoever rolls the lowest int check steps on an angry trample. So when you're doing random things to random players, some people just go, well, there's 4 of you, roll a d4. I don't like doing that. I like doing this. I like linking it to a stat or ability or a save. Or even if I just go, right, everyone roll a d20. Whoever rolls the lowest is going to get attacked. Because it adds that little bit of sort of trepidation for the players, because you don't automatically know. And also it stops that feeling of people being picked on, because you might go, oh yeah, Jeff, we're gonna hit you again, and they go, oh, you hit me last week. It just, because you might envisage where they are and it makes sense to attack a particular player. I like that. I link it to to a save, which is really good. Here we've got the curator. So he's the main person that sort of sets out all the missions. If you don't want to go through the 3 pre-built adventures, he sort of hints and tips of a couple of places that are relatively safer. So here you go, the Waterfort Shipwreck. That's what I was trying to find on there. So that's going to link into your sort of pirate ship. Okay, so I'm going to go through, I probably should have said right at the start, there's going to be spoilers in here, but I'm trying not to spoil these adventures. We're going to see the maps, and we'll talk about a few of the key things going through, but I've got to show you the maps because they are absolutely brilliant. But each 3 of them are different the way they're laid out. So we've got the Sanctum of the Undertoad Queen here. And long story short, the Lost Eye of the Jaguar Sentinel has gone missing, hence the reason. Was it called the Lost Eye before it went missing, do you think? I probably shouldn't just record all of my thoughts and in a monologue as I'm recording stuff. But it's basically come off a statue, which links into the very next adventure anyway. And it's believed that the Undertoad layer, or the main Toad, has got it. So the players are basically sent down to go and get it back. As you'd expect with these, you've got a variety of rumours just to sort of sneak the players in and get them going. This one starts with a mini hex crawl. It does say if you haven't got a lot of time, just start them at 408. Okay, you know, if you're deciding to do this as a one shot, but you start them at any area around the outside of the map, and then they'll just sort of hex crawl across, and depending on how long they take, there's a few things that can happen with sort of fireflies and things. But depending on which one they discover, there are, I think, 4 different drop downs into the Toad layer. So they might not always start. And I love this because from a games master point of view, what I want to look at when I'm running games is replayability. You know, especially, you know, if I find something that I really like and you want to run it with a different group, will it be different every time? And this will be, because they're just going to hex crawl in and potentially find different ways down and start in different places. But it does say, you know, if you haven't got time for it, if you're not interested in it, just start them at 408, which is going to do the initial entrance. So it talks about the motivations in here of the Undertoads, the Earthling Guild. So the Earthling Guild are the friars that are trying to find the eye, and then they've got the Jade Claw Brotherhood that are also trying to find the eye. They're the Jaguar people in here as well. So there's lots of different other factions and stuff going on. Random encounters for in the table. Some of the areas are flooded, and so obviously, you know, as the water table goes up, players potentially could die. I think one of them is a room that's going to trap them in, especially if it gets flooded as well. So sort of forewarn the players potentially. But here we've got the Undertoad layer. So the players will normally come in at 1 here, depending on, but they could drop into a variety of different things. This is what I mean. The map uses beautiful colours. It's incredibly well laid out. You can easily see the locked doors, secret doors, and then eventually the players will get here, which is your giant toad. But going through, you've got, say, here we go, location 1 and 2. You've got titles, nice, easy to read, descriptions of the room, and then you've got a sort of zoomed down part as well. Oh, this has got the river that flows through that they can just jump in the river and kind of fast travel across if they're brave enough, because obviously you don't know where it comes out. And so, you know, mud pipes, lily pad, ponds in here, debris rooms. The rooms have also got random treasures, which also helps from a games master's point of view for replayability in here. I love the little sort of sayings and quotes that are in here that seems to be from, you know, previous explorers that have also been in there. So for this one, you'll ultimately end up in the Queen's quarters trying to get the gem from inside the stomach. And if the toad swallows you, you go onto this page, and then this just details what happens when it's swallowed. And then finally, we've got some random treasures in here. Oh, and then obviously within the room, I'm trying not to spoil it, the impact of whether they kill the toad or manage to get it out and escape, which will just change different things. So that's your level 3 adventure. We've then got the level 4, Secrets of the Overgrown Pyramid, which again is related to the eye. So in summary, the Jaguar King and the Queen roamed the dense jungles in here. The Jaguar Queen then went out because there was an eclipse. The eclipse ended, she turned to stone, someone stolen the eye, hence the reason for the eye in the previous one. But what the players are being done is they're going to go to this why the players are here. They want to go into the pyramid because there's untold treasures and things like that in there. But in reality, they're being suckered in by the Jaguar tribes because the Jaguar King he likes to eat humans. I probably should have said at the start, actually. Some of these themes are a little bit more adult. It's a bit late to edit that in because the next one we're coming on is a little bit more gross as well. But again, like this one, you've got your rumours to get going, random encounters, and we've got a sort of cross section down on the map. I'm not normally a fan of drop cross section maps, you know, the horizontal to vertical maps, but this one does work really well. We've got some imagery here, and this is the first bit that jumped out on me, which turns out to be a secret pool. But to get in, they do need to go and find the secret entrance. So it's going to be a little bit harder to get in. And then we've got the ground here, the jungle, as you can see in the background. And then this is all underground. And then finally, they're going to get down to 23, potentially, for the Jaguar King. Like the previous maps, incredibly well laid out, nice and easy to follow. We've got little tables here for climbing down, the impact of falling if they're not very good at climbing. Again, you normal your quotes and stuff, and variety of different random loot tables in here. So it's really, really well laid out. I'm just going to show you the pond thing. I just like this. I like the fact it's, you know, you've got the pond with, I think, I want to say piranhas. Yeah, neon piranhas swarming the pond. But if they are brave enough to get in and do manage to find it, you've got a ring of invisibility and a fair bit of gold and a silver sword in here. Eventually, they're going to sort of come down to try and get to meet the king. And it's not going to be as easy as you think, because depending on which route they take, they might have to complete an application waiting list to go and see the king. It's bonkers, but brilliant. It's such a different twist of just jumping down and fighting down all the way down there. We've got these weird jaguar priests in human form. Should have explained that the weird, obviously weird priests, lycanthropy makes sense. You know, it can be humans or jaguars. That it's just ace that they're trying to now convince these people to get down peacefully, and they've got a nice alternate route to actually be able to do that, to go and face the Jaguar King at the bottom. And then finally they say this is the one it's just in the wrong order. You don't go 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. But also, this is because it's down in that bottom corner, it's going to be a little bit harder to get to. But this is horrible. If you don't like spiders, you're not going to want to run this, because this is hideous. The Bromru has asked the players to just go and map and clear out a cave. That's it. It's your nice, easy starting level, because it's level 2 adventure here. Variety of rumours to just get them going, and the random locations in here. It's got these really close-in locations. Probably should have explained the plot of what's going on. What's going on in here is a wealthy family moved in. Unbeknownst to them, there was an incredibly powerful spider that has managed to corrupt them. The mom of the family quite liked the spider and started to mutate into a quite hideous kind of larger spider. The husband was like, "Hey, what's going on here, love? I think you're a bit too close to the spider." So she beheaded him, and now she just wanders around with his head in her hand. So, brilliant, absolutely great. I just love different sort of themes. But again, this is another one of those beautifully laid out caves, and they're going to come across someone that Aliens-esque is going to be captured in there. You get to roll a d6 to see how many minutes, and then eventually this spider's just going to burst out of his mouth. So it's not for kids, this one. I probably should have warned you a little bit that's going on. But we've got prayer chambers, matriarchs, tombs, patriarch tombs in here, a variety of different tombs, and you know, which obviously you can see where the family members have died, storage areas. And then eventually, this is bonkers. A spider zombie. It is a zombie with a spider on its head that is sort of using the marionette sort of strings to maneuver the spider set. The monsters, when we get into this, is absolutely amazing. And also, eventually they're going to get to the big monster at the back, Mother Many, and hopefully you'd think they'll kill her or die, because if they die, that's the end of your adventure. But yeah, 3 really good, brilliant, different adventures. Then got these really interesting monsters. There are a few things like the pterodon and the rock, and there's a few other plants as well are in the main Shadowdark rulebook, but nearly everything is in here. So here we've got Captain Jim Gray and the Revenant crew. So this is the crew for the Dunham Silk pirate ship that is cursed, insect folk in here, haunted twig doll, which is utterly gross. I say it's this hexbeak is possibly one of the coolest creatures I've ever seen. This is it's a parrot that is it doesn't quite hear properly, so it misspeaks spells. So when you interact with it, there's a chance it's going to do. Let's pick on polymorph. So it's going to say polymorph, but say it wrong. So it's actually going to do polymorph. Transform into a parrot for an hour. Revert back if killed. Okay, that's fine. You should have to wait an hour if you're dead. But these are, it's like mass cure becomes massacre. Magic sword appears, attacks party until destroyed. People are going to hate this. Some of it is good, some of it's bad. Brilliant. And so we've got the Jade Claw Brotherhood in here, related all the way up to the Jaguar King, which are these weird creatures. Luminous lemurs, giant wasps in here, these neon piranhas as well. The mummy of the matriarch mogul, which is headless man, poor little headless man. There's some of the plants as well. So here's all the spiders as well to Mother Many, which is great. I do like it when people actually put in artwork for big bosses, because some of them you just, I know art costs money, but it is a nice thing to see. Then we've got like the strangle root, which is one of the random things that can be stepped on, which is a dangerous vine with periwinkle flowers. Strangle, so a DC 15 or constricted for a D6 damage each round, and you've got DC strength 15 to get out. It's going to be quite tough. Then we've got all the undertoads here, including the main queen at the end here, some snipers, some throat singers, and some warriors, and the weird jaguars in here, and a viper tail, viper, which does kill. You interact with someone very early on that's just been bitten one of these, so because look, the poison, con 12 or reduced to 1 hit point. It's a deadly, dangerous little forest. Then we've got the magic items, and as you'd expect, the Lost Eye of the Jaguar Sentinel is included in here. They've got the credits, Ross and Matthew Meyer here. We've got some supplements, so some newsletters, errata, so go and sign up for what they've got coming. And then this, Volume 2, was the Bay of Barnacle Bay, Pirates of Barnacle Bay, Pirates. Okay, doesn't actually tell us much because I can't read this, but it's obviously a new pirate setting, new adventures. I think it's new monsters, but obviously I do like pirates. So yeah, Final Torch, Volume 1. What do I think? You know what I think? I think it's absolutely amazing. You've got that wrinkle. I know I'm a little bit. I think that level 2 adventure is just in the wrong place for me. Put it up, so don't switch the locations, because the locations feel very much thought out, but because this is just sort of randomly thrown in the bottom corner, I think move that up towards the top, right near the beginning, ease the players in to that, and then obviously you've got the other places that you can go and discover. But wow, the Hexcrawl map is really interesting. The random encounters, I love the fact it's a D100, because hopefully you're not going to get that much repeat. There was one thing that confused me, and that's probably just me being an idiot. And there was a little bit in the encounter table, and I think it was something like 97 to 98, and it's roll twice, and I can't remember how it's worded, and add the encounters together. So I was rolling twice on it, and then I was going, well, I've got to 150 because I was adding the numbers, not the encounters. But that's a me issue. It's the joys of misreading thing. But I love this. I think, say that the 3 adventures are really well written. They look really interesting, completely different. Even that the vertical map, because it's so well laid out and really interesting. You got a couple of different routes down. Do you queue up like a proper Englishman, like we do? We're known for being polite, or do you just murder hobo all the way down and just try and kill everything to get to the bottom? It's good to have player choices and options, because even the first one where you got the river going through it, where they could decide to go a different route. I love maps with freedom for players. Incredibly well thought out for a first time book. Yeah, if I'm finding one. People might go, you're being a little bit harsh. Just move that location. But that's just me. Other than that, it's absolutely brilliant. And I can't wait to see what's coming up with Volume 2, because pirates are up there. Who doesn't like pirates? If you like jungles, grab this. If you don't like jungles, I think you should still grab it for these 3 adventures, because you don't even need to worry about the Hexcrawl map. And that I think is the beauty of this. If you're into just Hexcrawls and you want to create everything yourself, you can buy this and just do your Hexcrawl dungeon, which is Hexcrawl jungle, which is really, really good. But if you want 3 really good adventures that you could theoretically drop these into anything with the maps and stuff, absolutely amazing. Okay, I was sent this, so I do not know whether the VTT maps are included. I'm gonna hope they are, because we shall see. And it's one of those things that I think they'll probably include if they're not included. And hopefully, if they watch the video, then they will then go and watch the video. Go and include the maps from there. Hopefully, Ross, if you're watching this, can you let me know in the comments below whether the maps are included? And then what I'll do is I'll tag it to the top. If they're not included, I think you should just go and add them in there, because they're always good to have. But fantastic, for as far as I can see, a first book. I think this is heading up there to be one of those wonderful first buys. Yeah, I can't really say any more than this. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you are going to pick this up, please do consider using my affiliate link. Say anything, generate on there, I put back into the channel. And those that are, thank you so much. It does help me just buy more stuff, not out of my own pocket. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.